Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. This is Dream Another Day Tarot, and this is going to be a reading for whoever needs to hear it. Please keep in mind this is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate with you. Just take what does and leave the rest for somebody else. The rest of my disclaimers are down in the description box, so please feel free to check those out. You can also check my description box for my link tree, where you'll find all my other socials, as well as my donation links, where you're more than welcome to drop me a donation. I have started going live every Friday, so if you want to come and join my live and ask me some questions in the chat box, you are more than welcome to do so. They are free, those questions in the chat box, but if you wanted a more personal, in-depth reading with me, then you can go over to my Instagram, which will be linked in my link tree. My tarot Instagram, and send me a message and I will talk to you about pricing and the process for how that works, okay? I usually do $20 for a personal reading. If you want something a little bit more in depth, that's usually around 20 to 30 minutes. Then we can talk about that and discuss possibilities. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the reading. If you do end up liking the video, please do hit that like button, drop me a comment, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and do make sure you hit that notification bell, because that way you will be notified when I go live on Fridays, because the time will vary, okay, every week. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this reading. Thank you so much, Spirit, for your divine messages and guidance. We are deeply grateful, and we know we couldn't do this without you. So please help guide the collective spirit for their highest good, and please bless us and protect us as we move forward in this reading. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this, y'all. If you're not following me on TikTok, please do go check it out and follow me over there. I do daily readings, and they're individual readings, and they are rarely uploaded to YouTube, okay? So typically I do more in-depth readings over here. So let's go ahead and get into this. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. I feel like some of y'all may be walking down a somewhat of a difficult and or long path in life here. And you may be kind of reaching a point where you're kind of becoming curious about your life purpose, curious about your destiny, curious about the things you're working on, and you know, your future, things of that nature. Kind of what I'm picking up on. You're kind of wanting to like formulate like your group, if that makes sense. Wow, hell of a card to come out first, huh? Justice card. Some of y'all out there may be a Scorpio, or you may be dealing with a Scorpio. Again, this reading is a collective reading, so it's for all signs, any sign. Yeah, I'm feeling like there is some pretty significant decisions being made that either involve you or are being made by you. And these decisions are, I feel like, kind of setting the record straight a little bit. It's like what I'm hearing. Setting the record straight, clearing the air, cutting through the noise, and making it abundantly obvious where you stand, and also what is rightfully yours is also something I'm hearing. The right thing. The dream, I don't know why I'm hearing that. Like there's been some losses in the past, and I feel like it's kind of like harvest time now. Like you've been in the process of weaving your life, like weaving the fabric of like your life, your relationships, etc., etc. And now it's kind of like, you know, you've kind of come to some conclusions, okay, if that makes sense. Some conclusionary energy where you're like, you know what? I think now I see things clearly. I think now I know who I can and cannot trust, you know, what I can and cannot give my time and energy to, you know, how I've been treated. You're kind of like, now I think it's time that I act accordingly to how I'm treated, you know, rather than kind of like continuously giving and being generous in a way. And it could be emotionally generous, Yeah, to people who just, yeah, don't really show you the respect you deserve, is what I'm hearing. The respect you deserve. So this is kind of balancing the scales for you. Oh, I can't even make this up. 7 of Swords coming out in reverse. 7 of Swords came out in reverse in the TikTok reading I just did. The congruency is crazy sometimes. So I feel like you're leaving no stone unturned, okay, in your life. And what I mean by that is you're not really letting people slide anymore, because you're kind of like, nah, when I look at our track record, right? When I look at your track record and I look at how, even if it's a complete stranger, you can also look at how somebody's treating you, or how the way someone's approaching you, their energy, etc., and you can be like, oh yeah, no, I've dealt with this before. I've dealt with people like you before. Or you could be looking at long-standing relationships in your life and you kind of start to piece it together and be like, well, you know what, actually, over the years, you know what I mean? No, pretty sure you know what I mean, this is not an equal relationship. Or, you know what I mean, like, I've showed up a lot for somebody and they're treating me with disrespect and I don't even fucking deserve that, you know? Never deserved it, you know? So you're kind of like, you're leaving no stone unturned. You're looking at all of this kind of backstabby, sneaky, disrespectful behavior and you're like, I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna have to make some decisions here based on this behavior, that I'm not gonna let it slide anymore. So unfortunately that means some people are probably gonna get the boot, you know? And there's some areas of your life where that you're about to set some shit straight. You're like, you want me to set the record straight? We can do that. You know, I'm not afraid of the outcome, because you know you're doing the right thing. You know that you have tried to follow a just path. You know, so this is kind of feeling like mischaracterization here, like being mischaracterized, and you're kind of like, I know who I am, you know what I mean? I know me, and I know what I've done and what I haven't done, you know? So it's kind of like there's this level of justice that is called for in a situation. If you've been done wrong, treated unfairly, treated with disrespect, right? And mischaracterized, because maybe you standing up for yourself, you know, or you reacting and, you know, not being able to keep your cool because other people are disrespecting you, that has been used against you, is what I'm getting here, like in an unjust way. So the karmic justice for you is seeing the truth of the way that somebody actually is, and the way that somebody's willing to treat you in order to deflect and cover up their own behavior, right? Because the 7 of Swords is winning at all cost, right? But it's sneaky, you know? And so when it's in the reverse, it's revealed, basically. So when you kind of reveal somebody else's behavior by continuing to stick to what you know is right, protecting yourself, you know what I mean? Yeah, it rebalances the scales. Look at that, the devil trying to pop out here. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's really easy to get caught up in the drama of being mistreated and letting it kind of control your emotions and control you. And then you start to become defensive, and you're defensive of not only that, like towards that person, you end up being defensive towards others. And then you can be defensive towards your blessings even. 2 cards coming out here. Okay, King of Wands. You could be dealing with somebody who is very prideful, okay, with the 7 of Swords in reverse. You know, this is kind of like revealing deep down that this person is, you could be dealing with a fire sign also. King of Wands is most often associated with Sagittarius or, you know, it could be Aries or Leo, but mostly Sagittarius, I believe, with the King of Wands. So you could be dealing with a Sagittarius or somebody who has a lot of fire in their chart. And this is somebody who, you know, really feels like they should be on top. They should be in charge, right? So they have a sense of superiority is what I'm getting here. And somewhat of a pride, you know, that kind of can cause them to wield their power in a harmful way, right? And the positive attributes of the King of Wands is that they go after what they want. They're ambitious, you know what I mean? They're willing to fight for what they believe in. They're willing to fight to protect others, you know, the good qualities of a good leader, right? And this is regardless of gender, by the way. But when you have a King of Wands that's hiding behind sneaky behavior, you know, it to me is just kind of coming off as like just an underdeveloped, you know what I mean, King of Wands. And, you know, usually the negative aspects of a King of Wands that's coming out with this kind of energy is a certain level of arrogance, right? A certain level of superiority, pride, and that can cause them to do all kinds of things to protect their pride, right? So even if they are called out for this behavior, which, mind you, anybody can behave badly. Doesn't mean you're a bad person, but if you continue to behave badly, then it becomes a personality trait. And then if you don't correct that behavior, that becomes the type of person you are, if that makes sense. But there's always hope for everybody, you know what I mean? But is it right for you to stick around for this kind of behavior? Know what I mean? I feel like the just thing here in this situation is for you to set some really clear boundaries and set some really clear, like a very clear message, you know what I mean? For yourself and for others, like, you know what I mean? You don't mess with me. Like, you don't treat me like this, you know? And you see how they're holding like this smoldering stone in their hand? It's kind of like, the Justice card is like beyond the physical, right? It's almost like it's a physical and spiritual justice, if that makes sense, right? So it's like decisions made manifest, right? So it's kind of just the consequences of this type of behavior, you know what I mean? But like I said, if somebody feels called out, then they might resort to this kind of arrogant, prideful behavior. But what's a bummer about it is that, you know, like I said, it's not like they're a bad person, but it's sad when someone has a lot of potential and personal power, you know, and strong conviction, that they, you know what I mean, are having a challenging time being humble enough to admit when they're wrong and apologize and correct the behavior, you know. So then a lot of times people who are, you know, in this type of energy, they double down, you know. They double down and say, well, you know what I mean, I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was, you know what I mean, et cetera, you did this, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like a matter of deflecting and not taking personal responsibility, you know what I mean? And it sucks to see, hate to see it, you know what I mean? Look at that, Nine of Wands in reverse. But, you know, the Nine of Wands in reverse, it's all about being the wounded warrior, okay, it's the Nine of Wands. So a lot of times when we're wounded, okay, we become very defensive. And, you know, that happens a lot. Typically, most of the time, people who behave like this, it's because they're still recovering or healing from some type of mistreatment themselves, you know what I mean? But it's their personal responsibility as an adult to manage and work through those feelings and those traumas or whatever it is, and not use it against other people, you know what I mean? But it's kind of like getting caught with their pants down when they get called out for bad behavior, you know what I mean? So then they have to double down to protect their pride, if that makes sense. So I hope you're following me here. But this coming out in the reverse is kind of a really good sign, actually, because what I'll say is this is about letting your defenses down, letting your guard down, and not being so damn defensive because you're like, you know, well, everybody in the world has done me wrong, and so how can I trust you? And, you know, stay back, you know, and it's like people could be coming to help tend your wounds, and you're not going to let them do it because you don't trust them, right? So this coming out in the reverse is about vulnerability. you know? So whether that's like you being vulnerable enough to, you know, say like, I don't know, like this person has hurt me so many times, or this person has really hurt me and I really don't trust them anymore, you know, but I'm not gonna let that impact my ability to be open to other people or be open to my blessings or whatever. Because a lot of times when we get hurt, it causes us to shell up and to clam up, you know, so then we stop being open. But it coming out in the reverse is a great sign, okay? All right, let's see what else wants to come out here. Yeah, 10 of Wands, 5 of Swords is what I'm seeing shuffling the deck. So it's kind of like, this has been challenging, this is difficult, but look, you're getting your power back with the Emperor and the Knight of Wands in reverse. You're like, I'm in charge of how I feel. I'm not gonna let other people determine how I feel. And I'm also not going to, yeah, Hermit in reverse. This is great, this is great. This is good energy here. 9 of Wands in reverse and the Hermit in reverse is saying, you know, you're like, I don't need to, you know what I mean, hide. I'm gonna take this off, y'all. You're like, I don't need to become isolated because I'm, you know, hurt about this situation, you know? And so you're not gonna allow it to screw up your blessings. Look at that, the 10 of Pentacles and the 9 of Wands in reverse, you know? You're like, I still wanna be open to my future. I still wanna be open to other people, and I still wanna be open to the blessings. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's good. And you know what? Hopefully this King of Wands energy will also take on that, look at that, 5 of Cups in reverse, letting go of the past, letting go of the pain, the disappointment, you know, and letting go of the hurt and the woundedness and being willing to open up. Hey, y'all, sorry about that interruption. Let's go ahead and get back into the reading and finish this off. If you are enjoying the video, please do hit that like button, drop me a comment, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and do hit that notification bell. That way, when I go live on Fridays, you will get a little bit of a heads up because the time will vary, okay? So let's go ahead and get into this. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. We'll just call this part 2, okay? Any other messages for the collective, Spirit? King of Pentacles in reverse. First message that I just got. What's at the bottom of the deck? Ooh, Knight of Wands in reverse. Okay. So the first message that I just got was there could be somebody who's interested in you. This is coming off like some type of romantic interest, okay? And regardless of gender, also keep that in mind. I get the feeling that there's someone who's interested in you, but they may be feeling somewhat like insecure. And it could be because of their money, like their financial situation. They don't feel like they would be a good partner. And I guarantee you they're thinking like that because of the Knight of Wands in reverse. They don't want to just like have a hookup. They don't want to have like a casual, like in and out type of connection with you. So they're looking at more of like a long-term thing. Like that's the way they're approaching their interest in you. But they are, like I said, maybe feeling a little insecure because their money ain't right, you know? And when I say it's not right, I mean like, you know, they're kind of like trying to figure their finances out. So they're a little bit insecure about that. But the fact that they're coming out like this is kind of a good sign. I'd say it's a little bit of a green flag there, is that they want to be a decent partner. And they know you have options with the 7 of Cups. They may feel insecure because they know you have options. They're like, oh, why would they, you know, choose to hang out with me? You know, I'm like broke, or like, you know what I mean? I'm just like a, you know, I don't know, a dishwasher or something like lame like that. It just crossed my mind. 5 of Pentacles, yeah, they feel like they don't have enough money. And they're just like, what? You know what? I just have to say, please stop feeling sorry for yourself. If you are feeling like this King of Pentacles, because look, we're all struggling. You know what I mean? And it may not seem that way because maybe when you look at other people's lives, you're kind of like, you know, oh, well, that person's like half my age and they've got like twice as much going for them. Like, no, we're all hanging on by a string. Look at that. You've got the Knight of Pentacles in reverse too. It's like somebody's just completely halted their approach towards you. I'm sorry. The energy here is like, I'm not good enough. I'm not approaching that person because I don't think that they would choose me anyway, because they have so many other options, and just coming up with every reason in the world to not approach you or whoever this is. You could be the other person who's like feeling that way. But like I said, it's like, you'd be surprised. And you may also think that somebody really deserves, you know, to this or that, or they really are wanting this and that. So then therefore I don't measure up. Like, did you ask the person what they want? You know what I mean? Did you ask them if that was important to them? Like that it was the most important thing to them? Because money comes and goes. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. You know what I mean? You could be hanging on by a string and still look like you got your shit together. You know, so you may be looking at this person, or this person may be looking at you and being like, oh, this person's really got their ish together, and like, I really don't. And so like, that's embarrassing. Like, why would they want to be with me? I'm just a broke ass, blah, blah, blah. And I will say, regardless of gender, I think everybody kind of can feel this way, but I think particularly men, when it comes to, or AMAP people, when it comes to relationships, often feel a lot of pressure to, you know what I mean, to have money, because it's like expected of them. So they can feel really insecure about approaching someone when they don't have a lot of money, because they're like, you know what I mean? Well, look, what do I have to offer them? Because, you know, like, especially with all this like sugar baby stuff, like, you know, it's tough. I get it. But here's the thing. Did you ask this person? Did you investigate a little bit? What are they looking for? Are they looking for a sugar daddy, or do they already have that? You know what I mean? Are they looking for someone to financially provide for them, or are they looking for emotional connection? You know, for me personally, to be completely honest with you, I think that ambition and having vision and faith and like a good attitude about life, that will take you so much further, because there's plenty of people who win the lottery, they get all this money, and then they have no idea what to do with it, and it completely dissipates within a couple years. And so it never mattered that they had money. It was that their approach and their attitude, their perspective, the decisions they made were not wise. You know what I mean? So honestly, if you're feeling like a King of Pentacles in reverse, and you're like worried about your money, so it's making you insecure in love, and you're not approaching people who you typically would, please give them a shot, give them a chance to at least even express to you what their priorities are, or what they're looking for in a relationship. Because you might be surprised that, you know, like, what if money is not even a huge factor for them? They're like, yeah, I want to make sure that you're taken care of. I want to know that you can, you know, take care of yourself, so I don't have to worry about you. But at the same time, it's like, what if they're not looking for a provider or someone to pay for everything? Or, you know what I mean? What if they want a 50-50 thing? What if they have faith in you and your dreams and your pursuits that you will be successful one day, you know? And maybe they're down to be there during that, you know? But I get it, because especially with, like, I will say, just to finish off this thing, sure, maybe they have options, but like, you know, like I said, you might as well throw your hat in the ring. You know what I mean? If you're really interested in this person, you might as well throw your hat in the ring. You know what I mean? Why not? Give it a shot. I mean, I don't know. I just think insecurity will hold you back in so many areas of life, and feeling bad about yourself because of your money is also not going to help you get your bag up. And you never know, that maybe even being in connection with whoever it is that you're interested in, maybe that will even inspire you or give you a sense of self-confidence or whatever, and that can even help you make more money. Like, you know, I don't know, explore the possibilities. Don't be so hard on yourself. That's what I'm thinking to myself. And it's so funny, because it started off, somebody's interested in you, and then I'm just straight talking to this person, like, you know, because it could be you, it could be someone else. Y'all, that's the third interruption. Hold on, my phone's on airplane mode now. It was an alarm. I didn't even have an alarm set. It's ridiculous. Okay. Alrighty, don't let the past hold you back. Don't let, la-di-da, anxiety about money and all that sort of thing. Like, it's just, you gotta think positive. You gotta think positive. Okay? I know it's like really basic and shit, but I'm just saying, the more that you stress on things, like it's not gonna make life easier. That's for damn sure. So, alrighty, let's go ahead and finish out this reading. I'm over it. Okay. Two of Wands, widen your horizons, okay? Widen your circle, continue to network, continue to build that sense of community so that you can expand, okay? Ace of Wands in reverse, it's kind of like, maybe you've had some false starts. Look at that, 10 of Cups in reverse. It's like, maybe you've had some promising things that fell through and, so maybe there's a little bit of disappointment in there, I'm feeling. Look at that, Justice, you've got to be kidding me. Twice now in this reading it came out. This is talking about things getting set straight, things getting set right. You know what I mean? Things going right. Some correction, right? Look at that. High Priestess again, too, at the bottom of the deck. Wow. Yeah, you already know. You already know this shit. I'm gonna go. I'm just kidding, but no, for real. Like, you already know this. You already know this. Because why I say that is, like, you can feel it. You know what I mean? You can feel things about to go your way. You know that shit has not been right. And you're kind of like, yeah, look, you can feel the stability coming in here, And so whether you're feeling insecure about your finances or somebody around you is, it's kind of like, the thing is that things are about to get set straight, so it doesn't matter. It's all gonna be dust in the wind anyway. Whatever you've been through, whatever you're struggling with, whatever maybe this other person's struggling with, it's kind of like, regardless of all that, I mean, focus on yourself first, just saying. But, somebody's approaching you and maybe they're just not doing so well financially, it's like, I wouldn't necessarily be like, I don't know, it's up to you. Your standards are your standards, honey. And, everybody's got different standards. So it's up to you, but it's definitely tough. Like, if you were to say, get into connection, I don't want to increase anyone's insecurity. It's like, throw your hat in the ring. But if you were to connect with someone, I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to go. All right. If you guys like the video, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, hit the bell, drop me a comment, please. And go check out my socials. My link tree is down there, as well as my donation links. So if you want to do a personal reading, hit me up on my tarot Instagram. Or join me on Fridays for live readings, and I'll answer your questions in the chat. It's kind of a first come, first serve type of thing, so I'll try and go on down the list and answer everyone's questions if I can. Yeah, anyway, I'll see you all next time. All right, thanks. Bye.